Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another video installment here. And today I am in downtown Youngstown, Ohio, which is my native area. I'm returning after being away for a 30-year absence, even though I visit home frequently. And I'm going to take a tour of downtown Youngstown, Ohio here and show you how much it has changed, and fortunately for the better. And so this would be unimaginable some years ago to do something like this, but we're going to go for it here. Today is Wednesday, September 11th. The time is 4:54 p.m. and the temperature is 83 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's get started with this video. I'm walking down here on the southern part of downtown Youngstown, and the first place of note here is the Cavelli Center. This is pretty much our arena for the Youngstown area. Seats 5,000. I think it opened in 2005, and serves as a home for the Youngstown Phantoms hockey team. So it's a minor league, independent league team, I believe. And plenty of other events have been here, concerts, also Donald Trump rallies, many things of that sort. And so I always thought that when I was growing up here until I left, there wasn't really a major arena, but now it's great to see that the area is served with such a facility. So it's pretty cool. And there's downtown Youngstown skyline. It's a very vintage, older skyline. You'll see more of it as I walk toward it. So there's a lot more to it than what you see right there. And coming up here is something I thought I would never see in downtown Youngstown. I know it's common to those in other major, much bigger major cities. And it just, when I saw it, and it's just, finally Youngstown is getting with the times. And there's the main post office for Youngstown. And here it is, a bike lane. And a very nice one too. Of course, they had room, unlike Toronto, which I'm part of their walk to community as a fan. See many bike lanes, but this is actually rather sweet. And it's like I had to do a double take here just to see if I was imagining this, but I don't know how long it goes, but let's go the other way for a little bit, probably to the South Avenue Bridge there. But hey, there's the beginning and the start for everything. And we are headed toward Market Street, which is the main north-south street in the Youngstown area. And it's pretty shady between Youngstown and suburban Boardman. So nothing really to note but blight, just the Rust Belt decay. Yeah, this is spectacular as somebody who bikes. This is really a good thing to see become a part of downtown. Try to get out of the sun a little bit. It is on around 5 o'clock right now, and so yeah, facing west, you're definitely gonna get the sun here. And right there is the Mahoney County Courthouse, which Youngstown obviously is the county seat of, and probably still over 200,000, I believe, in Mahoney County. I'm not sure. Huntington Bank Building, which used to be the Mahoney Bank Building, which Mahoney Bank, obviously it's not exist anymore, but it was one of Youngstown's major banks. The courthouse annex. And up here, just to look at it, is the Market Street Bridge, which is completely updated, I think, back in the 80s. This is the main north-south street of the Youngstown area. It goes about 15 miles or so. It turns into Market Street Extension in Boardman and everything. And here's downtown Youngstown looking north. That's the time across. Take advantage of that. Perfect. I wouldn't call our skyline retro, but definitely vintage. It looks like something from almost 100 years ago. That's when a lot of these buildings were built. They are over 100 years old. Many of the main buildings in the Youngstown skyline. It's a federal courthouse building. Downtown Youngstown is laden with courthouses, whether it be federal, the county, that sort of thing. Is that necessary? We really don't have traffic down here. Just kind of go along with it, I guess. This Hub restaurant, I can't remember how many years ago it closed down, but it was a Youngstown landmark, a diner. But the sign remains. There's another shot of the Hunting Bank building. There's now Huntington. There's a building, I think, built in the 80s as a senior citizens apartment building. A lot of street construction here. It was good to see things happen after growing up here and spending part of my early adulthood here, where nothing seemed to happen. It's just very encouraging that things are finally bottoming out and heading back up. That's how I look at it. Now, I think I might be stopped dead in my tracks here, but there's something I want to point out. It's another classic building, which now occupies a DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel. I mean, it's amazing in itself that there's a major hotel in downtown Youngstown. Back when I used to live here, you have told me such a thing would exist in the future, I would have laughed at you. I mean, you would come down here for an evening, let alone stay here. Now, this is a recent happening here. This building was not meant to be demolished, but this is the old Realty building. And there was an explosion here, I believe. Still get caught up in the news cycles since I'm on my way of moving back here, but yeah, this is another classic building with probably over a dozen stories or so. It's pretty much seen its obvious end there. Here used to be the Metropolitan Bank building. It's now occupied, I think, by First National. So you see all the major Youngstown banks over the 80s and 90s and 2000s got all gobbled up by larger ones. They're acquired by some of the current banks acquired the ones in Youngstown. So I'll put together a timeline of that would fully explain that. And that Chase building right there, that used to be Union National Bank. We are gonna have to find a way to get back around. Now back on the west side of Market Street, which actually Market Street ends right here at the square at Federal Plaza here, and it continues northbound as Wick Avenue, which runs past Youngstown State University, Ursuline High School. And at the northern end of Wick, it used to be where all the car dealers were until probably about the 90s. The major ones were called the Wick 6. Now the old wow That's been open for several years, since the turn of the century, I think. It's an interactive children's museum, science and technology, and occupies the old McCrory department store, one of many department stores that used to occupy downtown Youngstown. There's a better shot of the old Union National building. And now we're approaching West Federal Street, another one of the main streets of downtown Youngstown, which is going through significant redevelopment. And next to Union National, this building in the middle, is the old Strauss department store. I remember as a kid and a teenager going here. It closed in 1986 when Strauss, which is a local department store chain, was acquired, or probably was already owned by May Company, and became part of Pittsburgh's Kaufman's. So I was probably about 19 years old when it closed. Then it became Farmer's corporate headquarters, the former discount drug chain. Then the owner was indicted for corruption and everything, and Farmer collapsed. And here's West Federal, and the actual front of Wow here. And next door is another landmark, Avalon Downtown Pizzeria, which a lot of people, it's their favorite. And they also specialize in a particular variety that is known exclusive to Youngstown, the Briar Hill Pizza, which is a pizza that instead of your Parmesan cheese and your mozzarella, it has your Romano cheese with sauce and green peppers. But they have things here that I never thought would ever come to fruition. Outdoor dining, new restaurants, everything. It enhanced police presence too, so, which is good. The Federal Building, home of the Federal restaurant there, another great spot, downtown Youngstown. Actually, I didn't intend to go this way. I'll probably hit it on my way back, but heck, let's go there. This is something I've never seen in my time. Downtown, bringing it back. Well, I'll be damned, I guess so. Again, I never would have envisioned this during my original stint of living here. No way. But it's very encouraging to see. Yeah, I'm going through a Rip Van Winkle effect. I am forgetting names of streets and places from being a long way from certain parts of this area after growing up here. This is Phelps Street. Yeah, I thought it was. My memory almost failed me, but yeah. So you turn this portion of Phelps entirely into pedestrian and outdoor dining. That's awesome. Straight down the end there. That's a jail. I think it's the county jail. Up the hill goes a W2RTA bus. That is Youngstown's transit network, which stands for the Western Reserve Transit Authority. And right there ahead is the Steel Museum, which Youngstown was founded upon and built upon the steel industry. It's just there's a presence that's still there. Obviously nowhere near like it was. At the top there is St. Columba's Cathedral, which is the main. It's the cathedral of the Diocese of Youngstown. Yes, Youngstown has their own Catholic diocese, which is the very northeastern portion of Ohio, and which I believe is Mahoning, Trumbull, Columbiana, Ashtabula, Portage counties. And we're on Commerce Street right now. Up beyond this hill is Youngstown State University, which I will do a separate video of that. And yes, that is my alma mater. I graduated in 1994 with a degree in marketing and management, double major, no minor. Another WRTA bus. And yes, WRTA is strictly a bus network. There's no rail. And no subways, in case anybody's wondering. That's going to take you all the way out to the Southern Park Mall and Boardman. That's the number 8 bus. Actually, I can do a shortcut here, which I'm going to do. It's important to get the front of this landmark, which to me was always known as Powers Auditorium. It's home of the Youngstown Symphony Orchestra. And yes, Youngstown has its own full-fledged symphony orchestra, and it has had that for years. And as I've been noting many times, back in the last structure I used to live here and growing up, this would be unthinkable. To be walking down a walkway in downtown Youngstown. But now, things have really changed for the better. Now that's going to be Steel International. I think this building, this stretch of buildings is the Youngstown Business Incubator, which houses a lot of startup companies. It's been around, I think, almost a couple of decades now. It's a very encouraging thing to see. But you have other industries down here other than government. This is very government heavy, banking, legal. And here's another Youngstown landmark. Which up until recently, it was the last man standing home savings and loan. Up until just a few years ago, it was the last of the major Youngstown banks to be Youngstown based and have the original name. That's Home Savings and Loan Building. That is a very iconic building. It feels just awfully weird and just sacrilege to see Premier instead of Home Savings on the building. And they were for years, until it became a trend to put name the signs on high rises and mid rises and that. Home Savings has done that for years. Now, see, they call it the DeVore Performing Arts Center, but this is always known originally as Powers Auditorium. There's other fine arts events here and everything, but it is definitely an auditorium of a classic style. It's very opulent inside, and so they might be able to hopefully get in there for a tour. But yeah, they still keep the original name, Edward W. Powers Auditorium. And this is closer than I thought. I'll show you the main terminal of WRTA. And I've been looking out with the crosswalks today. Just made it. Independent taxi's still there. Amazing. This is the main bus terminal for WRTA. And everywhere the routes go. Not as numerous as major cities, but the WRTA has been around for a long, long time. Nothing new, nothing part of like any sort of revitalization. It's always been there. It'd be nice if they get a streetcar down here on Federal, like a trolley or something. But despite the redevelopment, downtown is not overall healthy to justify a lot more things like that to the infrastructure. As you see, peeking up at the very top is the home stands for Stambaugh Stadium, home of the Youngstown State University Penguins football team. Four-time Division I AA champions over the 90s when Jim Tressel was the head coach of the team. Was going to college football, where he obviously went later. Was to Ohio State, secured them a national championship. Later on, he became president of Youngstown State. Up until about a year or two ago. There's a full view of St. Columbus. That's the telecommunications tower behind there. It was originally by Ohio Bell and then the Meritech and AT&T. But the Performing Arts Center has an addition with a pavilion and everything, like another facility, holds events, banquets. I think you can have your wedding reception there. So, I'm gonna head back toward West Federal and go down the other way. going east, get out of the sun a little bit. And before I wrap up the video, at least get one more portion of downtown. Which 83 degrees seems warmer to a bit hotter. But it's better than the alternative than to come down in the dead of winter, so I'm not complaining. Another shot of the former home saving building. I did want to note this First National Bank building, if I hadn't already, is Youngstown's tallest building, so if you were wondering, it's this building right here. If anybody was wondering. Well, if he wasn't picking a fight with a pigeon. The PNC building, I got. Whoa, holy shit, is he mad? He's seeing his own. I don't know if I'm going to stick around. You might want to poke my eyes out. Yeah. That bird ain't right. Downtown Youngstown make anybody crazy. He may have eyes on the back of his head, so I'm going to keep going. Where was I? Hoo-wee. I believe that building on the corner is another courthouse. Way up ahead there on the Wicken Commerce. Yeah, bird must be hangry. Nobody's throwing him a crust of bread or anything. If it was going on 6 o'clock and he was probably very pissed off. Seems like so far my attempts to get back to the east side of downtown have been futile. From this realty building demolition, amongst other things. And I'm definitely breaking the law here on camera jaywalking. But hell. Demo cranes, or interesting. We'll cut through this way actually. I can walk out this way. People are actually eating outside. I haven't been to this mocha house yet, but it's really taken off and has some good reviews. just encouraging to see small business thrive here downtown. Yeah. Which reminds me about coffee shops in downtown Youngstown. There is no Starbucks in downtown Youngstown. I almost feel I need to have a hard hat on being in this proximity. That hell of a backdrop. Rust Belt revitalization, even though this is for all the wrong reasons. Unfortunately, with an explosion to the Realty building here. Rest in peace. But the upside is hopefully it'll be a new building, something built in this century to be a part of the Youngstown skyline. And the gray building in the back, before I walked away from here, in this far corner, used to be the Dollar Bank building. Which later became National City, then PNC. I see PNC here now, so a little bit of a shuffle there. I don't know if Chase has that building now, but somebody needs to do his homework again and just not lean on the fact that he hasn't lived here in years. Well, a few parking garages downtown. The Strauss department store used to have one. That was long ago been demolished. Here's East Federal Street, so if you're wondering if I was ever going to tackle East Federal Street, here we are. And we're just leaving South Champion Street. Yeah, that's actually one of the newer buildings. I can't remember the name of it. It was, oh yeah, City Center 1, yeah. This was built, I think, around 1973. In this classic building, on the left, yeah, that would look like an old department store or whatever, but it used to be a furniture store called Haber. And when Haber left decades ago, I don't think it's sat empty all that long, which is a good thing. Up at the top there is a vocational school, Chaffin Career Center. Unless the name changed since I left before my return here. Here's the south end of Walnut Street, which is about back to where I started. And there's the Youngstown Police. Nice to see their presence. Takes a lot to be a Youngstown cop. That goes without saying. My hats are off to them. Unlike you, sometimes your suburban police who pretty much have their existence is to ticket people. Well, every officer's got a job, no matter what his jurisdiction is, but to be an urban cop, that's usually get stripes for simply being one, if you're a good one. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap everything up here while I'm in the shade. And I want to thank everyone for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe. There'll be more videos of Youngstown and many other areas, which will be exploring, I can assure you of that. So by all means, thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.